All right, everybody, coming up right now, proof that some people are just not meant to be parents, y'all.
Oh, boy. Also coming up, a Florida driver finds herself living on the edge.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine this? A little bit later on, a popular morning anchor says, I'm done. It's not her. Better not be you.
No,
claiming no amount of money will ever change her mind.
Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am Mitch English, welcoming you to Daily Flash. We thank you for joining us for this Thursday, a little bit later on. One of my favorite segments we love doing is with Catherine Celery. We're talking about parenthood, and we're going to be talking to her. She has so much great advice. So if you're a parent, you want to stick around, we'll be talking with her in about 10 minutes or so. So stick around for that.
Okay, we also have Matt Doolittle.
Oh, yeah, Matt Doolittle joins us as well. Matty, how are you?
Guys, I finished the Mr. McMahon documentary, and you guys know I'm a giant wrestling fan.
Yes.
I learned nothing. I knew he was a horrible person throughout, and then they just rehashed a bunch of stuff. So it's like, if you're a wrestling fan, like my wife and I are, we're like, yeah, we already watched these documentaries.
You know what I keep finding about those things with these successful people is the narcissism that's involved. And it's almost like, because narcissistic people, they can be very, very popular. They always have this falling off, something happens, and usually just this crazy life because it's all about them.
Yeah.
I think that might be a case. I don't know.
But he was already, everybody already knew he was nuts. And when the Me Too thing started, I went, well, Vince is going to be involved. And then he was. Yeah. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, we just started watching that. I know nothing about wrestling. So
you're going to love it then.
I found it very fascinating.
I knew enough.
When you get to the Montreal Screwjob, that's a good time.
I think I'm not.
Which we need to use that term. You're going to love it. How bad he screwed him over. But can I just talk about what I know about wrestling? It's a fake. It's because he wanted to take who was the wrestler?
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels wanted to take the
Bret Hart. No, Bret Hart wanted to take it to WCW.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
It was just it's this plastic thing, and they made it such a big deal.
Because it is.
But but you know what I'm saying? You still can walk away saying
but
it.
If you were leaving but if you were leaving with your anchor chair from here, we'd be like, oh, you're going to the Today Show with your anchor chair. Be like, no, you're leaving the anchor chair here.
I tried to understand the same thing too, Mitch, and I was just like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
You can go with the title.
Yeah.
And
Andrea,
Alan was like, yeah, but it's the belt. I was like, I don't understand.
Andrea, I'll take you to NXT down the street at WWE, and then you'll understand it. Yes.
I do want to go check.
Yeah, we should go.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Corey Feldman. Actor
from the Coreys back in
Stand By Me. That's the one I always think of. Do you know that he makes about $230,000 a month in residuals?
Good for him. All right.
In residuals. Now he's been married since 2016.
Okay.
How many times?
The reason why we know this is because the wife is asking for more money because she's saying he only gives her a couple grand a month to survive on. So of course all this information is disclosed to the courts. She wants at least $5,000 a month to live on. She currently works at a coffee house.
You know, yeah, and what do you call it?
Pre-COVID?
No.
Prenuptial?
Thank you. Yes. So that you know, first off, you're married, Corey Feldman. So, all right, you're kind of
you're married in the circus.
Yes.
But you walk into a marriage, it's like, all right, what did you help him make that amount of money? Why should you get a certain amount of it? So.
I'm thinking by 2016, I'm not sure what he was doing, if there was anything new. So I assume that all those residuals came from all the stuff he did as a younger kid.
He had to.
So she can't be privy to that.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but divorce is never pretty, no matter.
Exactly, right?
It's always ugly for sure. All right, we got a story that proves that some people are just not cut out to be parents. Check this out. We go to Arkansas where a couple there arrested after they tried selling their 2-month-old baby for $1,000 and a 6-pack of beer. The duo are now facing felony charges for endangerment and trying to take cash in exchange for their infant. Sheriff's office got a call from someone at the Hideaway campground in the Ozarks claiming that the couple was actually selling their child. Well, the caller said the parents had a signed letter granting custody with a disclaimer stating, quote, after signing this, there will be no changing y'all minds. and never contacting us again.
I've never had a contract with y'all in it.
I want a lawyer to put something that says y'all's mine on it. The baby is now in the care of the Arkansas Department of Human Services, so that's good. And it's sad. It's even sadder that there's a place, fire stations. They have the safe place where people can drop off in situations like this. But it's sad when I see stuff like this. So when you think of the child growing up, hopefully it'll be in a better position, a better family later on. But you play the game and you have a child, your life changes.
Netflix is already starting a documentary on them.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, babies having babies, right? These two look like they're not even out of high school yet.
And there's so much to learn that you have to, and I'm still learning as a parent, but it's, I just hate hearing stories like that.
Well, a Florida woman found herself dangling from a third-floor parking garage after accidentally hitting the gas. How many times have we heard this?
Let's guess where it's from.
Yep.
Florida.
Footage from the scene shows the woman in her white Porsche hanging off the edge of a Miami parking garage.
There it is.
The rear wheels appeared to be wedged into what was left of a concrete wall. Only a tree appeared to be keeping the SUV from crashing 3 stories down onto the ground. Rescue workers used ropes to pull the woman to safety.
And if anybody at the Miami Fire Rescue needs a editing job, I mean, you guys do a great job with that.
Look at the triple boxes. It's very impressive.
With it floating over, like is that a drone shot?
Did great. It did wonderful on that. It could happen to any of us. I can't say it's ever happened to me. I'm knock on wood that it never would. But can you imagine how scary it would be knowing, even if like that height,
on a parking garage?
Parking garage. Think about that.
Oops.
We go now to NBC, where anchor Hoda Kotb, I can never say her name.
Kotb.
Thank you. Is actually saying later to today, even though they offered her millions to stay. The 60-year-old anchor announced that she's leaving morning news program after 26 years with the network. She wants to retire to her country house, away from the spotlight, and focus on raising her 2 young daughters. Hoda will also be stepping away from her 10 a.m. show she currently hosts with Jenna Bush Hager. That show actually became popular when Kathy Lee Gifford was her co-host all the way up to 2019. Hoda became official co-host of the Today Show following Matt Lauer's controversial exit. And I believe she also went through her adoption with her child as well. She was very open about that as well. So nice to see that. And generally when we hear in the business, I want to spend more time with the family. If you preemptively did it, and I'm sure that that's the case. When you get to that, you realize what your priorities are.
She's in her early 60s. She talks about she just bought this house just outside of Manhattan. It's more in the country. She wants to do it. She wants to make it over. She wants to just be comfortable, rest and relax. She's got 2 young daughters now, and she wants to be there for them to raise them. And she's waking up at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to do this morning show.
It's very difficult by all means, and they even offered her a couple extra vowels for her last name. And she said, no, I'll go without.
She's making $8 million a year.
Good for her, though. I like her.
I like her.
She's she seems normal.
I get that.
Very, very relatable.
Relatable,
yes,
too. Okay,
for sure. Well, is there something in the celebrity water? Because another couple has arrived at Splitsville. The wife of Joey Lawrence has filed for divorce after 2 years of marriage. She cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split. Don't they all? Joey's soon-to-be ex-wife states in her filing that she is opposed to Lawrence taking their daughter for extended periods of time. She waived her right to spousal support and requested sole custody of their 1-year-old daughter. Wow. The couple met while working on the Lifetime movie My Husband's Secret Brother. She claims they've been living apart for the last few months.
It's a shame. Again, another divorce story by all means. And I think, when you go, you want sole custody, you always shoot for the moon, I imagine, in these kind of situations. But in the end, is the best for the child. It sounds like he wants to be in the child's life, but sole custody means
it almost seems sort of like, I'm going to embarrass you and make this as difficult for you as possible, so I'm going to demand sole custody, because then that will suggest that you've done something improper.
Indeed,
right?
Which helps you in the court case.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, there is a food truck in the United States that actually offers, in the UK, that offers its customers seagull insurance with their meals, just in case the pesky birds actually have to take off with their food. Hawkins Barbecue, actually a fun idea here, selling the insurance deal just for $1 and some change. The small fee guarantees customers a full replacement of their meal if a seagull actually comes and flies off with one of their juicy barbecue sandwiches and loaded fries. And the proceeds for the insurance policy will actually be donated to a local wildlife charity.
Nice.
So far, the public's reaction, fantastic. I like that. You're making actually a donation to a great organization that's going to do stuff. But also they're like, well, they'll put their, maybe apparently it happens so much so that they needed to have some kind of insurance.
Seagull insurance. Sounds like it's a terrific place to kind of check out the scenery and enjoy your barbecue sandwich.
And the seagulls, but the more people that feed them, the less they're afraid there, and they come down.
And the more that arrive, they're like, there must be like a call out to the club. Hey, everybody, over here. We got a sucker right here.
We found one. Or is that a parrot? That's a parrot. All right, we're going to do some parenthood. We're going to jump into that when we return with Catherine Celery. Stick around. I love this part of our show. As kids start to settle into the new school year, the challenges that come with it are really still unfolding. So joining us now with more is our parenting expert, Catherine Celery, who we love having you on. Catherine, welcome back to Daily Flash. How are you?
Oh, great. Thank you so much. It's so lovely to be here.
We're glad to have you here because this is such a big time. Some kids maybe just now starting school, like at kindergarten, first grade, some maybe all the way up to high school, going into high school. And when I think back to school, the word actually that comes up, and I'm sure you'll agree, is anxiety. It's okay because you got some tips on how we can actually deal with that anxiety with our kids. And the first one, obviously, just talk about it. Am I right?
Absolutely. So worries and fears, they always seem bigger and scarier when you don't talk about them. No matter whether you've got teens, young adults on their way back to college, or even the little ones, right? Ask your kids to tell you what's going on for them about going back to school. And the more specific, the better. Are they worried about getting sick?
Okay.
Unsure what to expect when it comes to protocols and regulations? Are they worried about being alone, not fitting in, getting bullied, keeping up with the work, not getting the grades they want? Having to deal with your disappointment if they screw up. If there's something in you that displays or likes reassuring, resist the urge, because that actually is a roadblock to them continuing to open up.
So I guess you can kind of say this should be kind of a one-way conversation, meaning you're just going to ask the kids, no judgment, not fix anything. Just what's your anxieties? What's where you're worried about? And do we start the conversation off like that? I mean, most kids are already back in school, or do we wait to the end of the school day? Because I can tell you this, at the end of the school day, so you'll ask them, how was school? Oh, it's fine. They're never going to tell you. When's the best time to do that?
I love what you're asking about. And I would also just use this opportunity to say at the end of the school day, don't even attempt to have a conversation without giving them crackers and cheese and an apple and rebuilding the glucose in the brain, because kids burn glucose in the brain twice as fast as you do.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely do that.
Replenish them. Basically replenish all of the resources internally so that they can, because you know what the body does. It shuts down and it just goes to working your heart and all of the things keeping you alive, but not regulating your emotions and certainly not interaction. So you got to feed them before you start.
Yeah.
However, to your original point, you should have this conversation, on a Saturday when you guys are sitting around, doing craft together, when there's no pressure at all.
It makes a lot of sense that way. I know for my parents, there was some some bad situations they had to deal with it, but I just knew when my dad got home. Is that something that we should actually be ready for? Because your kids are more than likely going to find themselves in new situations, right?
Absolutely. So, establish procedure for bad situations. The process is important because it's easier for the kid to go, okay, they built it in. So if you've got a fire in the school or an anticipated problem, like a known bully, if you've rehearsed it and gotten familiar with the school resources, the practices, the procedures, you have an actionable list for you know what to do. You've reviewed it together. Everybody understands it. So that's so good for them to just feel more relaxed. And also at home. Review your own safety procedures. Where do you go? Where's the exit? How do I get in contact with you? What do I do? How do I find a trusted adult? So it's important for both of you to figure it out so that the emergencies are not quite as scary.
Indeed. And the safety word, they also establish a safety word, which you definitely can know if you're ever in a situation that they can get out of, or if they're in a problem, they can mention that safety word. And we're talking about all this stuff. Generally when we talk about we're worried, we think about all the bad things that are happening, but that can make things even more scarier, I can imagine, right?
So focus on the positive. So when those negative thoughts arise, a really helpful approach is to get bigger than what's bugging you, what's bugging them. So using the skills of self-talk, how you're talking to yourself and how you as the adult are reflecting back to your kids. For example, you could say, it sounds like there's a part of you that's really worried or scared or nervous or cautious or whatever the word is that fits what they've shared with you. And if you were to turn toward that part and listen, what do you imagine it's trying to protect you from? Can you be with that part in a way that makes it feel completely seen, heard, and understood by you? This is the practice that helps you avoid merging with the worry. And instead, remember that you and they are so much bigger than any single worried part.
Makes sense.
So, a few door openers are you excited to see your classmates, to make new friends? Are you looking forward to playing a sport? So by teaching somebody how to be with their feelings, turn toward their feelings, and truly listen in, they can avoid being consumed by them, overwhelmed by them, swamped by them, and recognize that they don't need to define themselves by that one emotion. Breathing techniques, obviously, are really helpful tools for regulating the nervous system, relaxing and creating space inside.
And teaching that at a younger age will help them as they go through that situation as well.
Totally.
I do know, talking to you so many times, you give out some great advice. And generally, you'll always say, have a routine. That way the kids know. In school, is it just as important?
Absolutely. So consistency and predictability is needed to feel secure, especially necessary when you're under pressure in difficult times. So establish a daily routine. It really supports your kids' emotional and mental well-being. Their focus, everything, whether they're at home, at college, waking up, eating breakfast, going to school, doing homework, whatever it is. Yeah. It's so helpful when it's a routine for them. So adding a time to debrief about their day in that routine, whether they're at school and coming home in person, or whether it's a check-in call with a kid at college, just to play parts of that routine really help kids just know, oh yeah, I'm going to have a call from mom soon, or dad, or really helpful.
We're also in control of the floodgate of the energy that we proceed out to them. How important is it actually to keep them calm and maybe restraining some of that energy?
So fun. Yeah. So they're so quick to mirror our feelings. So mom, dads, right? Try your best to exhibit calmness and confidence when talking about going back to school, what they're going through. We have lived through a lot the last few years.
Indeed.
So be patient with yourself and your kids, because we're all in this together.
Sure are. Love having you on, Kathy. You know, and I tell everybody here, I love interviewing with you because you just have so much great advice and you lay it out great. And if any parent out there wants more information, check out freeparentingbook.com. You can get this information as well as just some great advice from Catherine Sully as well.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I am Matt Doolittle, and let's get into your daily digits today. Now, this first digits, that's going to be $20 million. I'm going to do the pinky thing. Okay. So if you're a proper historian and have 20 million bucks laying around, there is a rare copy of the Constitution that might just be yours. In the lead up to the Constitutional Convention of 1787, 100 copies of the U.S. Constitution were printed, but only 8 of them were actually signed by Charles Thompson, the Secretary of the Continental Congress. Yeah. So for the official purposes of being brought to each state for the delegates to deliberate. Well, one of those 8 copies were found in a house in North Carolina, making it one of the only privately owned signed copies of the Constitution in the country. So now it's going up for auction at Bruck Auctioners with an opening bid of $1 million, which has already been met. A similar copy of the Constitution sold at Sotheby's for over $42 million. They're figuring this one's going to hit about $20 million.
Wow.
Nick Cage has nothing to do.
I was just, that was the Declaration of Independence. This is the Constitution. I made that joke when I was writing this, and I had to go back and research it.
You fixed it, huh?
Also, the people in D.C., the security guards at the Declaration of Independence, hate that joke. Okay, your next number today is 20. Well, if you live in the state of Florida, we all know there's a huge invasive species problem known as the Burmese python. Yeah. Every year, there is a 10-day hunt, which brings awareness to the threat that these pythons pose to the ecosystem. Well, the winner of this hunt this year bagged himself 20 Burmese pythons. Look at that, 20. This is Ronald Kiger, who removed 20 Burmese pythons from Florida Everglades and was awarded the grand prize of $10,000. Last year, he was a runner-up. So, just never give give up on your dreams.
No way.
Personal story, though. Personal story. I hit one with a car and they gave me $100.
Did they really?
Down in Miami, yes. I hit one in the Everglades and they gave me $100 because I called the wildlife people. I'm like, hey, I hit this snake. I don't want to be like bad. And it was blood all over the car and everything. They're like, here's a $100 check from the state.
Very nice.
Oh, wow.
So,
and you didn't have to clean it up off the road and put it in your car?
No. They took it with them, but they gave me $100, and more than 800 people from 33 states, including Canada, participated, and they removed 195 Burmese pythons from the wild. So remember, folks, if you want to kill animals, just come to Florida.
Get paid for it, right?
Get paid for it.
Matt, thanks so much there. And of course, our daily digits we give to you every week. We always love doing that. Here's something very important to know about. Did you know that actually veterans are nearly 2 times more likely to die by suicide than civilians? Well, right now, there's one organization that's actually helping veterans and their families. Here's more.
It's National Suicide Prevention Month, and once again, Cohen Veterans Network, the nonprofit network of mental health clinics for post-9/11 veterans, service members, and their families, have launched a special initiative to help.
Veterans are 1.7 times more likely to die by suicide than their civilian counterparts, with the highest risk occurring during their transition from military service. So to bring awareness to this critical period, we've launched Mind the Gap, Preventing Suicide After Service. It's a campaign that provides strategies and resources for suicide prevention.
Neil Walden says each year approximately 200,000 men and women transition from U.S. military service to civilian life. The year following military service has been called the Deadly Gap, a period in which the veteran suicide rate is 2.5 times the rate among active duty military personnel. Reaching out to individuals during their transition can have a meaningful impact.
The transition from military service can be filled with opportunity. It can be a really exciting time for many veterans as they face the next chapter in their life. However, some veterans may also face significant challenges during this period due to loss of camaraderie, a loss of sense of purpose, employment and financial stress, and maybe coping with unmet mental health challenges and conditions. The convergence of such challenges can result in elevated suicide risk, particularly for those who exit the military on short notice or without a plan in place. In addition to therapy, CVM provides comprehensive case management services, which can support transitioning veterans and all clients with potential stressors such as unemployment, finances, housing, and more.
As part of the campaign, the network has created a new interactive tool that individuals can utilize for a proactive approach to suicide prevention. Speak Up, how to address concerns about suicide, provides suggestions about what to say and do if a loved one is exhibiting signs of emotional distress.
This tool is available for free. It's important that we get behind the issue of suicide and work together to bring these numbers down.
To learn more, visit cohenveteransnetwork.org/suicide prevention.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I am Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
So glad to have you here on this Thursday. We've got some great news stories to talk to you and share with you coming up. And this is surprising. You know, even after so many decades, the JFK conspiracy is still out there, right?
Yes.
And it's, you know, when are they going to release it? It seems like they trickle it out like just enough, but it's still, so much is redacted. So we wanted to find more and more. Well, they just found, believe it or not, another 1 minute long video of the day he was assassinated, and they put it up for auction. Basically, this guy, his grandfather, had kept it in a milk crate for this long, and he passed it down from family.
Yeah.
And finally, the grandson gets it and says, "Well, let's put it up for auction." It's about 1 minute long, and it shows the moment right after he was shot. So there's probably
on the way to the hospital.
Yeah, like after it all came down. Anyway, it sold on auction for $138,000. Just this 1 minute video of all of this, and seemed pretty well preserved as well, but it's interesting how we still want to know. I guess because there's so many questions out there of what actually, was there another shooter, I guess.
It's so hard to believe that at this point in time that we don't know the truth of exactly what happened. And I think a lot of people have their suspicions that there was more to it than just, what was presented to the news media. And I think with RFK Jr. now in the news.
Oh, that's a great point.
And I think that's kind of drumming up a lot more interest, and people are opening up the history books once again and kind of taking in a second, third look at it.
And I think with the assassination attempt of Donald Trump as well, I mean, seeing this sort of thing is, why? Because of the conspiracy theory behind it.
Sure.
Have you been to that spot in Dallas?
Well, I was just in Dallas, believe it or not, for my daughter's wedding, and we were going to go out there, but I rented an electric car, and I was afraid I had to charge it up so we didn't get.
I've been there, and there's a bunch of people standing around, giving out, conspiracy theory brochures and all that. But you stand there and go, there's no way this is how they said it went. Like, you're looking at where it is and the angles, and you're like, no, that had to cut. You can see it when you're there.
You can see the grassy knoll. You can see everything. It's an interesting place, and it's an eerie place to go check out. But it's also because we're talking about it now. You should actually be there. So,
well, as anyone on a weight loss journey knows, hours of hard work and a commitment to healthy habits are instrumental in actually hitting your goal weight. Joining us now is independent coach Kristen Glass. She's from Optavia, the habit-based coach-guided lifestyle solution. She's also joined with her client and friend, Holly Anastasia. Kristen, talk a little bit about your coaching philosophy.
I think coaching is so important to someone's health journey because you're actually working with another person who has experienced what you're experiencing. So often when we're on our health journey, we do it in the dark. We don't share it with people, but having another person to hold you accountable and hold you accountable from a place of being there before is incredibly valuable. 90% of Optavia coaches were also clients themselves. And coaching is much more than just encouraging. While encouraging is really helpful, what for me was the most helpful was that my coach had been there before me, and she knew as a busy mom with young kids, I needed weight loss to be absolutely simple. And Optavia provides that with grab and go snacks, with our helpful guides, and most importantly, that coach that's really almost taking the thinking out of it for you.
So my health journey started in 2018. Kristen is an old friend of mine. I started seeing her sharing about her health journey, and she was absolutely glowing. And I was at a point where I was so uncomfortable in my own skin. I knew that I needed to change, but I needed something simple and I needed structure, even though I probably didn't want it. But Kristen had gone before me and she was coaching and offered to show me the way. And I said, absolutely yes. In a recent study, we have found that actually having support on a health journey leads to more weight loss than if you were to do it alone. And I have absolutely experienced that, having tried to go at it alone many times in the past.
You just go to optavia.com/results. And don't forget, National Coaches Day is October 6th. So whether you're just brand new starting out like we were, or you're somebody who might be navigating the complex nutritional needs and mindset needs of someone on GLP-1 medicines, or you're someone who's already living a healthy lifestyle, Optavia has products, programs, and most importantly, one-on-one coaching to get you to your goals.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. The tech industry making some strides to diversify its workforce and include more women in high-profile roles. Here's Tina Jones from Global Human Resources Cadence with more.
At Cadence, we're really proud of the fact that over the last 10 years, we've been able to move the number of women in our technical roles by 50%. We want to take some of those learnings and bring it to market. So we have launched FemDout AI so that we can make a difference in our industry. And we're kicking things off with a summit in Silicon Valley where we've brought together luminaries from Stanford and Berkeley and MIT, and as well as AI leaders from NVIDIA and Salesforce and Google, so that we can discuss how do we change the representation of women in engineering, and Why is it so important to have diversity of thought in the creation of AI so that we create AI that is human-centered and responsible and actually works for everyone? People can go to our website, fem.ai, and I hope they get inspired to join our movement.
Trying to manage money and caregiving is no easy task. New research reveals the struggles so many American women face trying to save for their future. Here's more.
Caregiving responsibilities take a toll on financial and mental health, especially for women in the sandwich generation. Lisa Peel, principal and head of financial planning at Edward Jones, has more.
The caregiving burden isn't just personal. It places a significant strain on individual and family finances. Women caregivers may decide to step out of the workforce, resulting in a loss of potential income.
According to new research from Edward Jones, over half of women in the sandwich generation say they feel like they do not have enough savings to support those that they care for. As such, they are focused on building their long-term savings.
Over the next 5 years, women in the sandwich generation plan to focus on saving and prioritizing expenses such as caregiving, child education, and healthcare. To achieve these goals, women should feel empowered to work with a financial professional who understands their unique needs and priorities and can help boost their financial confidence.
To learn more about the research, visit edwardjones.com/womeninvestors.
All right, we are rolling along. We got TV personality Liliana Vasquez joining us to share her self-care essentials to help streamline our busy fall schedules. Hey there, Liliana.
Well, first and foremost, you need to make self-care a non-negotiable. Even if you're short on time, you can self-care in under 60 seconds. And one of my very favorite tips for doing that is actually Lumify Redness Reliever eye drops. They reduce redness in 60 seconds. With just one drop in each eye, your eyes are going to look brighter, they're going to look whiter, and they're going to look more refreshed. And the best thing is that drop lasts you 8 hours. So not only do you start your day looking good, you look good throughout the entire day. And self-care obviously doesn't have to take a long time. One way that I do self-care is through a gratitude journal. I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for throughout the day, and they don't have to be big things. It could be your morning vanilla latte, but something about expressing gratitude, it's kind of like instant magic for your mood. So whether you have 60 seconds or 60 minutes, make self-care a priority in your day. And for more information, you can always head to lumifyeyes.com.
Academy Award-winning actress Kathy Bates is sharing insight into her dramatic weight loss. Check this out. The 76-year-old says she lost more than 100 pounds during the past 6 years. She credits exercise, mindful eating, and knowing when to push the plate away for losing the extra weight. Health complications followed her on the set of Harry's Law back in 2011. She admits it was difficult to stand and even walk during that time. Bates was also diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 2003, breast cancer in 2012. Wow. The star of the new Matlock series says she hasn't been this slim since college and feels better than ever.
I love it. I think she's a great actress no matter what. I think of Misery every time I think of her.
Every time.
I couldn't walk straight after that, and that's how we knew her as bigger. So it's great to see her healthier as well. There were rumors because she had said, all right, after Matlock, I'm done. And then she was on the red carpet on the Emmys and go, no, I meant like maybe for a regular series, I'm still going to act. And so for that, we're very happy.
We love Kathy Bates.
I love her. She reminds me of my mom. I love her.
What is KSA Entertainment? It's trending news, entertainment, lifestyle. KSA Entertainment. Culture. It's love. It's food. It's family. KSA. It's life. It's shopping. It's empowerment. KSA. KSA Entertainment. It's fitness. It's travel. KSA. It's fun. It's engaging. It's Daily Flash. Daily Flash Latino. Life, love, shopping. This is KSA Entertainment.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash, a current, compelling, and newsworthy subject. Yep, we got it. Here's more.
Middle school can be tough. We've all been there. But it's especially tough for those who are going through a lot more than the average preteen, like kids who are experiencing loss. It's easy for them to feel like they're all alone and to keep their feelings locked up inside. But they're not alone. Opening up to friends and connecting with others about their loss can help them start to heal. And it doesn't just have to be connections they make at school, or even in real life. These shared experiences can be found on the pages of a graphic novel. Finding comfort in the middle of a story they can hold in their hands, with characters who can teach them something new, like how to share their story with someone else. Because even when we feel lost in the middle, we're not lost forever. We can always still find each other. Strength comes in many forms, and a book can be one of them.
October is known as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Here's plastic surgeon Dr. Kelly L. Colleen with more on breast augmentation and breast reconstruction options. Welcome, doctor.
Hi, and thanks for having me. So I'm here with Natrelle. Natrelle is a breast implant brand, and they have 35 years of experience producing safe, amazing breast implants. They have 5 different profiles and 3 different gummy cohesive silicone gel. And those things together give the largest variety of implants. So as a plastic surgeon, I can better help my patients achieve their aesthetic goal. Now, an augmentation is a cosmetic procedure where a woman chooses an implant to enhance their breast size and shape. And a reconstruction is a surgery to allow a woman to restore their breast after cancer surgery, trauma, or even a congenital anomaly. It's really important as a surgeon that I have lots of options for my patients, because ultimately, whether it's cosmetic or a reconstructive procedure, the ultimate goal is achieving the patient's aesthetic goal, and having lots of options make it more likely that I can do that. Now, we're coming into Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so it's really important for patients to remember that mammograms save lives. So if you are a woman who's over 40 years old, it's important that you get your screening mammogram, because catching cancer early is key to saving your life. And it's also important, even if you don't have breast cancer and you had an implant placed for a cosmetic reason, that you have your implant screened. So check in with your surgeon this month and make sure that you are doing the proper screening to look at your implant and make sure that your implant remains healthy and safe. It's part of your screening, just like a mammogram, once you have a breast augmentation. If you'd like more information about Natrelle breast implants, please visit natrelle.com.
Looks like the office of the future is here, and it's smarter than ever. Tech expert Mark Saltzman joins us now with some of the tech tools and services that are actually revolutionizing the way that we work. Hey there, Mark.
Hey there, thanks for having me on the Daily Flash. And yes, I've partnered with some great brands to make sure that your business is well equipped. Let's start with a financial solution. You know, small businesses may think they can't afford to have an accountant, but they can't afford not to. But you don't have to break the bank on professional services with Block Advisors Bookkeeping from H&R Block. Starting at only $39 a month for a self-serve option, and starting at only $175 a month for a dedicated accountant. That's up to half off typical accountant rates. With Block Advisors Payroll, starting at only $59 a month, gain access to a dedicated accountant, their standard reporting, and guided setup for all your single state payroll needs. Now, here's something to help your businesses grow. You probably use Nextdoor, the incredibly popular neighborhood-centric social media platform. 1 in 3 U.S. households are already here, so why isn't your small business? Well, 79% of neighbors said they're influenced by a business recommendation on Nextdoor, ranking the platform as the #1 place for local recommendations. The good news is you can claim a free business page on Nextdoor to unlock an instant following and turn your neighbors into customers. Again, no need to spend time building your followers, they're already here. Next up, small businesses can benefit from powerful tools to remain productive, competitive, and profitable. And AI can help here too. Lenovo's new ThinkPad T14S Gen 6 laptop is an industry-leading AI PC with Copilot Plus, so you can create images, get help with coding, and generate action items from meetings thanks to instant summaries and translations. This PC also delivers extreme power efficiency with true multi-day battery life. And ThinkPad T14S boasts the lowest carbon footprint in the ThinkPad portfolio. It's made from recycled plastics, aluminum, and carbon fiber. For more info on everything covered here today, simply visit inthenews.tv.
With so many products on the market, it is so important to stay informed about the latest safety hazards. Here's the Executive Director of Kids in Danger with what you need to know.
Oftentimes, I think consumers think that they don't need to worry about safety when they're shopping because products, of course, are going to be safe if they are for sale. But that's not always the case. Let's take, for example, dressers. You might want a new dresser or changing table for your child. In the past, there was a voluntary standard, but it wasn't very stringent. And so you couldn't be sure that the dresser might not tip over as your child got a little older and started to pull on the drawers or whatever. Almost one child a month is killed when a dresser tips over on them. And thousands of people are sent to the emergency room with injuries from tip overs, either of furniture, appliances, or TVs. So it is important to think about the safety of the units, the dressers that you bring into your home, to make sure that they are sturdy and won't tip over. The Consumer Product Safety Commission is at cpsc.gov and have a lot of information there, not only on furniture, but many other products and how you can anchor your furniture no matter what wall type you're attaching it to.
All right, all you homeowners, listen up. A home warranty can actually save you thousands of dollars. Check this out.
Home warranty versus home insurance. Do you need both? Meredith Sprecher, Director of Acquisition at Frontor, the parent company of American Home Shield, shares what you as a homeowner need to know to protect your assets.
It's bound to happen to every homeowner, especially as the weather begins to change. An essential home system or appliance breaks down, like the refrigerator or HVAC system, that can be costly to fix. The good news is that a home warranty can help cover repairing or replacing systems and appliances.
A home warranty differs from homeowner's insurance, which covers issues that might happen to your home, like fire damage, flooding, or storms. Meanwhile, home warranties help cover home appliances and systems when something breaks down due to normal wear and tear.
A single repair or replacement could cost thousands, but a home warranty plan from American Home Shield starts at less than $1 a day. It offers coverage for heating and air conditioning, electrical and plumbing, and kitchen and laundry appliances.
To learn more, visit ahs.com.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. New on Netflix, it is the story of the brothers who were convicted in 1996 of murdering their parents. This is today's must-watch series, Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story.
You remember the first dog we had? I went to the pet shop to buy one of those collars that have spikes on them. You turn on the leash and it hurts. But it only hurts when it disobeys. People think that those collars are cruel. I think it's the other collars that are cruel. Because they create dogs that misbehave. You know what I think? I think that I didn't hit you hard enough. So as a father, that is my fault. And I'm sorry.
I hate my kids. May as well come out and say it.
Blame it on the rain that was falling. Blame it on the stars.
They're parasites, actually. They've turned us into people we don't want to be. And I regret having you.
Mom, you can't say that.
Please shut up, for Christ's sake. Nope, I could have been a movie star like Kim Novak. And you're what I got?
You're gonna be like the Kennedys. That's why it was so hard on us. But I suddenly saw how cruel it was. What was going on in that house. And it's never gonna end. You can never escape from it. And I was always gonna choose my brother over my parents.
I see what happens when kids don't get the nurturing they need.
What's going on with you and the boys? I won't tell anyone.
You did this. You destroyed our family.
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
You hate the parents and then you love them by the end.
This is one you have to watch the entire series because there's two different stories. Y'all take care.
Be good, everybody.
See
We'll
you when
see
we
you
look
later.
at you. Bye-bye.